Hello everyone, Mark Latham here, Watchtower Alert 2. Good evening. I did a posting a couple of hours ago now. It was called GB Member Another Lie. I did the posting and I've had some tea, some supper with my family and my wife, and we were talking about the whole issue of donations and the organisation in general, about its lead on how it controls people. And it became very clear that all our memories came flooding back, and we were talking between each other as well as eating our tea. And then since then I've taken the dog out for a walk, and I've come back, and here I am doing a follow-up to that posting, because there are a couple of things that really I just wanted to say to individuals that are in the organisation, and I'm trying to talk some sense here, trying to talk some common sense above all other things. Anthony Morris, date of birth 1950. Make of that what you will. He's a governing body member. But this whole issue of donations and where it's all going, I have a question for you, and it's this: do you remember all of those years, all of those decades where we have been told by the governing body not to pursue an education, not to pursue secular activities, not to pursue riches, not to pursue securities in this world, that it's all coming to an end? I think it's the 2nd of October 2014 that we have 100 years as an anniversary for the end of the Gentile times. Yeah, 100 years. I think it's the 2nd of October 2014. That generation will by no means pass away until all these things have occurred, and then the end will come. Brothers, that end is so near now. So near. Don't take up a job. Why are you bothering to pursue that professional career? Why are you doing that? Do you remember those days? Do you remember those days in the assemblies where we're sat there in the summer, no matter where we are in the world, and we've got the governing body, people like Anthony Morris, putting out their diktats, telling us not to have children? Don't have children. Woe to the woman suckling a baby in those days. Can you see why that is the case now? It's all part of the same question. Can you remember, and can you see why? Can you remember all the things you've been told, and can you see why those things were said to you? You see, when you're having children, back in those days, you're less of an asset to the organisation. But as time has gone on now, those children that have been born into the organisation through the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, they are an asset now to the organisation, because they can carry on producing the money and the advertising that it so greedily needs. All of those things I pointed out in that previous video are very true. That they want to use every single vestige that they can think of to get the money from you. and especially, in particular, the older, more mature brothers and sisters, and there are many out there in Great Britain and in Europe and in America, all of that older generation that have spent their life devoted to the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, are now reaching a point where they probably did disagree with what the society was doing, and they did buy themselves a house, and they did have children, and they did all the things that were natural, feelings of natural human relationships about coming forward and getting married, having children. That still came through, even though the organisation said to them not to do this. But actually, ironically, the organisation is now glad that they broke those rules, that they had children, that they went out and pursued careers and got themselves houses that are now paid for, because they want them. They want that money. The reports show, if you look at the research, that they do have anywhere at the moment as we speak to date 20 to 40 billion, not millions, billions of dollars, tens of billions stashed away now from the sale of all of that real estate in America. How many congregations or kingdom halls do they have around the earth now? Is it 200,000? I digress, I'm not sure. But it runs into hundreds of thousands, I'm sure. Now, most of them, if not all, especially in the Western world, are owned by the society. This must make them an extremely rich, cash-rich organisation that allows them to receive additional credits from other financial organisations, that gives them the power to negotiate when they're hedge funding, especially when they have cash available, ready cash, that allows them to play the game on the stock market and in those fields where the financial predators are at their best, taking those risks, putting that money in laundered condition through Jersey or the Cayman Islands. Who knows where this money's going? But I go back to that question. Do you remember the questions you were asked as kids, as you were growing up with young families? Do you remember the things you were told not to pursue? And now here you are all these years later, here in the organisation that you have served all your life, now asking you for your money, not just a donation. Oh no. They are asking you to devote everything you have, hand it over to them, because it's for the world wide. What they're not telling you is that this money that now runs into billions and billions of dollars is going where? We don't know. I certainly don't know, but I can only speculate where it's all going. But I know, my instinct tells me, that people somewhere in the know are making a lot of money from this, on the backs of everything that you are doing with a genuine heart as you follow through with this stuff. Do you remember why? And now do you know why? Do you know how you've got to this place where you're at? Think very carefully, because you are in a position where you are continually being fed a line. That's really my message. I wanted to get it across that I find it ironic that after all the years where we were told not to pursue education, not to pursue riches, that all the Watchtower is looking to do now is take money from you and take it in every single way it can. It even wants your jewellery and your valuables. Can you imagine that years ago, them asking for those things? Please, brothers and sisters, you must see this for the con it is now. Surely you must. Surely. It is a con. It's a scam. And you're caught up in it. Even the churches of Christendom just pass the dish round while people are sat on those seats. They don't go to these lengths. They really don't. You have to ask yourself where all those billions have gone, because I don't see missionaries driving around in Rolls Royces, Cadillacs, do you? So where's it all going as they downsize, as they move away from New York? Where's all that money going? Billions and billions of dollars, and there's more to come. Not only that, they're hedge funding, and they're making more billions and billions of dollars. But all that means nothing as they concentrate on making sure you give them more and more and more. Little Johnny's pocket money, they'll happily take that. But they also want your checks, they want your jewellery, they want everything you can give them. Even your life. The other thing I didn't mention in this Watchtower is it doesn't discuss, or it doesn't advise you to discuss all of these bequeaths, these generosities. It doesn't advise you to sit down and talk to your family first, to find out what they want. So if it's Aunt Agatha, who's probably got 15 years left on this earth with all her jewellery, they're not advising people to sit down and talk to their families to say, are you happy for me to be able to donate this? Because I would really like to donate it, but I want to talk to my family first. They've not said any of those things. A loving provision within a Christian organisation desperately asking for money would do just that, wouldn't you think? Not this shower. They want it. Rabidly want your money as much as they can get while they can get it, and yet at the same time they're preaching that the end of the world is coming tomorrow. So why do they want that money? Please ask yourself, why? Why? I'm just trying to be sensible. That's a message to every Jehovah's Witness out there. That's my question today. And it's a follow-up to the first posting 2-3 hours ago. GB member, another lie. Thank you for your time and patience. If you need any help, you know where we are. Bye for now.